What's good? This is JVB representing SPD, and that is sportsperdium.com. The Chicago Bears been pretty busy this offseason. You know, they brought in Nick Foles. They signed Robert Quinn. They let Leonard Floyd go. They let Prince Amukamara go. They let Taylor Gabriel go. They re-signed Dane Trevathan. They signed Jimmy Graham. They signed a few DBs. But they still got work to do. You know, just like they brought in competition for Mitch Trubisky, they need to look into the NFL Draft 2020 VR because it is virtual reality. So get your VR sets ready for that shit. But they do need to bring in some offensive linemen, some competition for Bobby Massey and Charles Leno because they no bueno. They ain't that good. But besides the offensive line that needs to be shored up, they also need to make one more move. They need to pay Allen Robinson, man. The man had over 1,100 yards last season with Mitch Trubisky and Chase Daniel throwing him the ball. That's saying something. And in my opinion, he's a top 10 receiver in the league, period. And, of course, there's always going to be detractors. You know, that comes with the territory. They're going to be like, oh, he was the only receiver on the team. He can't do this on a good team. He not a number one. He may not be that apex tier. He may not be Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. He may not be those guys. He ain't that guy. But guess what? He's still a number one receiver. And if the Bears are smart, they should be trying to lock this guy up ASAP. And who knows what's happening behind the scenes. You know, maybe they are working with him and his agent. Maybe they trying to get him locked down long term. But that needs to happen, man. Now, Amari Cooper signed a contract extension not too long ago with the Cowboys for 5 years, $100 million, $60 million guaranteed. Do I believe Allen Robinson's going to get that much money? No. And that's not because I believe Amari Cooper's a better player than Allen Robinson, because I don't. I just summed that up from Jerry Jones wanting to keep his guy because he is a young player, he is a good player, and he did trade a first-round pick for that player. That's just how it is in sports. You know, some teams value their players differently than other teams. And on the flip side, you know, there's players who actually like being on the team they're currently playing for. Or maybe they want to play for their hometown team. Or maybe they want to go out and be a ring chaser, you know, try to get on the championship team. So those type of players will give a team a discount. Now, that don't mean that just because Allen Robinson wants to stay with the Bears and retire with the Bears, that at 26, 27, he going to be taking a chump change contract. Hell no. He want to get paid. But I just believe for someone like Allen Robinson, he doesn't necessarily need to break the bank. He may be just cool with getting a little hammer and just, you know, cracking the bank. He don't want to go out and get a sledgehammer and completely break the motherfucker. That ain't what Allen Robinson really wants to do. You know, he wants to get paid, of course, but he enjoys being a Chicago Bear. It's not as bad as the Bears quarterback history, but the Bears wide receiver history ain't that damn good either. The best Bears wide receiver was Brandon Marshall. For those few years Brandon Marshall was here, he was the best Chicago Bears wide receiver. After that, you know, there's been some guys that had some nice seasons here and there. Marcus Robinson back in the day, Marty Booker, Curtis Conway. Alshon Jeffrey was good. I forgot about Alshon, but Alshon and Brandon Marshall, those are the two best Bears wide receivers, and at least in modern history. But at 26 years old, you know, coming off an 1,100-yard season, like I said, with Mitch Trubisky and Chase Daniel throwing him the ball, the best years could very well indeed be coming up for Allen Robinson. Yes, injuries are going to always be out there. Injuries can happen to anyone at any moment. But I think for the Chicago Bears, you have a franchise receiver. You may not know who's going to be throwing him the ball, but you have a guy who's 26, 27 years old. In my opinion, a top 10 receiver. If you don't think he's a top 10 receiver, he's at least 12 to 15. But you have a very good wide receiver on your hands. He leads on the field and he leads off the field. He's a professional through and through. This Bears organization, and I know I give Ryan Pace a lot of shit, but they ain't that stupid. You know, they recognize real, and Allen Robinson is just that. They need to go ahead and pay that man. Let this man play out the rest of his career with the Bears, and It ain't saying much, but maybe he'll go down as the greatest wide receiver in Chicago Bears history. But I'm out. Like the video and share the video. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy. God bless. Peace.